right? So it's like driving somewhere that you've already driven to. You don't need the directions. You still remember where you're turning, you know? So just a little bit of a tidbit of intel there, right? I mean, it's not too hard to hike up, you know, maybe 100 meters or so, but if you climb a high enough freaking mountain, you got to bring an oxygen tank. You know, you got to bring extra gear. You got to be really on your game. So that's kind of the tricky part about bulking. It's like you've got a series of sprinkler systems, right? Like those, it's got that little glass ampule that's blocking the water from spraying everywhere, and it has to reach like 180 degrees to burst, you know? Those, and this is a really specific reference, maybe it's a little too weird, but those come in different degrees of temperature thresholds, right? Like there's ones where they don't actually burst and start spraying water until the freaking thing gets to like 400 degrees, you know? So if you've got a little lighter and you put it up to that low temperature one, it's gonna burst. Oh, it worked, right? You're making gains. Maybe it'll work for the next one. Maybe it'll work for the next one. But making gains, making muscular progress, it's a diminishing endeavor, right? You have to basically push it harder the longer that you work at it, because gains get harder to get the more that you get them, you know? It's like a leveling system in a game. You know, it takes the amount of XP it takes to get to level 2 won't even put a dent into getting from like level 30 to level 31. That's like you took a gallon of milk, dropped it onto the floor on accident, and it's just pouring out. Now you could immediately say like, oh shit, I'm making a huge mess here. Right? Pick it up, stop it from kind of spreading. Or you just sit there and watch and say, oh shit, man, I better pick that up. Dude, I bet, oh man, I'm spilling milk all over the place. I better pick that thing up. Oh geez. And then just not doing it. But there's kind of a green range, you know? Like, it's like I'm skiing. Right? Obviously I don't ski. I'd probably rip both my freaking hamstrings off instantly. But I want it to be a nice slope, right, that I'm comfortable with. And if it's too steep, screwed. If it's totally flat, well, I'm not going anywhere. Right? Obviously, the bigger you get, the stronger you're going to be. Right? Mass moves mass. There's no getting around it. And don't come at me with the, well, how does a cow or how does a gorilla get so much muscle? They're eating just fruits and vegetables. They're just eating hay all day. Look, man. They've got a completely different system of digestion than we do, right? We've kind of evolved to eat some cooked foods. At least that's what I've been, taught. And if you take out a boat, you take out your car or whatever, you've got one place that you're headed. If you don't know where that one place is, then you're just driving. You know, so it's I know it's a little cheesy, but it's cheesy because it gets said so much because it's so true. You know, so it's almost like the it's kind of monkey paws-ish, right? Like you get your wish, but there's also a drawback.